this short guide to the A2 Media Studies coursework unit. So I'm going to talk you through what you've got to do for your production and how to go about it. So the title of this unit is Advanced Portfolio in Media. And I'll talk you through basically what you've got to do, how we do it successfully, what you've got to do for your first steps to get started on towards a successful coursework unit at A2. So in some ways it's not dissimilar to what you've done at AS. The expectation for the exam board is that you will produce a media portfolio comprising a main task, so a main sort of production task, plus ancillary tasks. Now this is two other tasks to accompany the first one, and they can't all be the same form. This will become clear in a moment when I show you some examples. You also, as with AS, have to present your research, planning and evaluation, and that needs to be presented in electronic format again, and probably for the vast majority of you that's going to mean going back and doing another blog for your A2 project. So what is it you actually have to do? Well, you're not given totally free rein on the choice of production that you make, and in fact you have to select from a series of briefs, a menu of briefs, as it were, from the exam board, which give you various options of what you can choose. I won't go through all of them here, and we will certainly guide you towards particular ones that we've got the kind of expertise and equipment to deliver to you, or to help you with. But I'll show you a couple of examples so you can sort of get your head around it. Right, in this case, you've got option 10 is a film. So it's again working in moving image. You can do a short film in its entirety, so it's not a trailer and it's not the opening of the film, lasting about 5 minutes, which might be live action or animated or a combination. Okay, I don't know if you've got expertise in animation, but you've got that option if you want to do that. So you do the film, but then you also have to choose two of the three options below. So you can do a poster for the film, a radio trailer for the film, or a film magazine review page about it. So you do the film plus two more. Another example would be number 12 here. You could do an extract or a package from a local TV news programme lasting about 5 minutes. So you do the news report and also provide two hyperlinked working pages from the programme's website, a radio trailer for the programme, for the news programme, and the title sequence from the programme. So you choose two of these following options to go alongside your main task. We'll take you through some of the other options as well in class, but that hopefully will give you a flavour of the sort of thing that you've got to try and produce. So just to take you through some other points that you need to be aware of. As with AS, you can work in groups, you can work in up to groups of 4, but also as with AS, you are assessed individually on your own contribution. So we need to be really clear about what it is that you're doing, and you need to make sure that you're organised in your group, that you're all making a substantial contribution to your production, otherwise you won't be able to get credit for the marks. It's no good one person just going off and doing it all on their own. Clearly there's a greater emphasis on quality. It's got to be better, it's expected to be better than your AS work. It's got to show that you've learnt from the work that you did at AS. You've got to show greater attention to detail. It needs to be a really polished production. There's absolutely no reason why your research and planning shouldn't be considerably better from what you did at AS. You need to show that you've learnt and that you've improved. The other thing is that you need to write about your practical in the exam, and you can watch the other video for more details about that. But that's really important because it means that if you don't do your practical properly, if you don't make a really good, thoughtful, creative, interesting and substantial production, you're not going to give yourself much to write about, so you're negatively affecting your performance in the exam as well. Okay, so the production work is absolutely crucial. And it cannot be done at the last minute. It can't be rushed. It's going to be a substantial part of your A2 study. It's got to be really good. In terms of your coursework marking, it's the same as with AS. You've got 20% of your mark is about research and planning. 20% is about the evaluation. Now the evaluation has to be, it's similar to your AS one, slightly different questions. It has to be presented in an electronic format. The exam board are advising us to look beyond just writing that on a blog. Right? So you could do a podcast, you could do a film about your evaluation, and then 60% is based on the production itself. So where do you start? What are your first steps or next steps to being successful in this unit? Well, what we'd advise you to do first of all is to use the OCR media blog to take you to some past A2 blogs that other students have produced from other schools in the past. That is so useful to do that because you can look at really successful models, you can look at this kind of quality that you're expected to produce, and you can get ideas about research and planning and things like that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with looking at what students have done in the past and being inspired or moved in particular directions on the basis of what you see. So that's the first thing we'd get you to do. Have a look at some past examples of really good work. Secondly, you need to think about and discuss your options. Talk about if you're going to work in a group, talk about it with your group, but then you need to be decisive and you need to select a brief. And that, you just need to pick one and stick to it. We're not going to allow people to change their briefs, months into the course. Okay, because we haven't got time to do that. So you're going to need to be thoughtful about that and choose one that you're confident you'll be able to do well. And then the first steps you can take, we would advise you to begin the process of research into similar products. So if you're going to make a short film, go and look at short films and do the research, as we did a bit with AS. What are the key conventions of those short films? What really successful, interesting examples can you see? I think there's loads on the Channel 4 website actually, but obviously YouTube's going to be a really good resource for you there. And you must be recording that research as well, so you'll need to set up your blogs really early on and get going on researching similar products to your own in order to help yourself start thinking about what you can produce. So there we are really, that's an overview of the coursework unit, but we need you to think about the skills, the attitudes and the aptitudes that you're going to need to bring to this unit to be successful. We've picked out a few key indicators of success when we've worked with students in the past. You're going to need to show independence and initiative. Don't expect us to spoon feed you through this unit. We can't do it. It's not the way it works at A2. We wouldn't want to do it anyway, because this is the emphasis is on you here to be responsible for your own learning, your own progress and success. You need to show creativity. So you've got to think about the decisions that you're making and not just go with the first ideas that you have. Show creative thinking in the way that you approach the task. You need resilience. Media practical work will go wrong. It always does. Making this film has gone wrong for us on loads of occasions, but you just have to be resilient and do it again and get it right and make sure that you push through. You're also going to need to show flair and originality. Make sure you're not just doing a very obvious production. To have something in yours that makes it stand out, makes it unusual. And thirdly, you just need to be organised and get on with it. You've got to be working consistently through the course. This isn't something that you can do in a couple of weeks. All right? You've got to be working consistently through the course. Enjoy it. It's a really good unit to do. You'll produce something at the end of it that you can be really proud of, hopefully, and that we can all enjoy. But make sure you're organised in your approach to this unit.